Good morning, my dear students. Now, I am here in this video to start our new chapter, Chapter 2, that is Communicable and Non-Communicable Diseases. Before starting the chapter, we should be aware of communicable and non-communicable disease. Communicable disease. These are the disease spread by several means from one person to another through variety of ways like water, insect, direct contact, indirect contact, food and drinks, skin and many more. The communicable disease are malaria, smallpox, tuberculosis, cholera, common cold, influenza, chickenpox, jaundice, mumps, AIDS, tetanus, whooping cough, leprosy, etc. Communicable disease is also known as infectious disease or transmissible disease. Now, let's talk about non-communicable disease. Non-communicable disease, these are the disease which are not spread from one person to another and are not transmissible. They are not spread by several means. Such diseases are caused by deficiency of some internal organs or by the deficiency of vitamins or minerals. For example, eye disease, mental disease, teeth disease, rickets disease, anemia, diabetes, heart disease, asthma, Alzheimer, Parkinson's, arthritis, etc. Hope you have understood the topic communicable and non-communicable disease. Now let's come to the next topic, modes of spread of communicable disease. Modes of transmission. There are many ways in which the disease is spread from one person to another. Now, I am going to elaborate this topic. There are three parts in modes of spread of communicable disease. First, agent factor. Second, host factor. Third and last, environment factor. So, first, agent factor. Biological agents are widely found in the natural environment and as a result found in many work sectors. They include bacteria, virus, fungi, include yeast and modules, and internal human parasites, endoparasites. The majority of these agents are harmless, however, many have potential to cause ill health. Now, our second part is host factor. Host factor is a medical term referring to the traits of an individual person or animal that affect susceptibility to disease, especially in comparison to other individuals. The term arose in the context of infectious disease research in contrast to organism factors such as the virulence and infectivity of a microbe. Now let's come to the third and the last part, that is environmental factor. An environmental factor, ecological factor or eco factor is any factor, abiotic or biotic, that influences living organism. Biotic factors would include and the availability of food, organism, and the presence of biological specificity, competitors, predators, and pesticides. Students, now let's talk about our next topic, the cycle of infection. Explanation of chain of transfer of communicable diseases. So students, what do you understand by the term chain? Yes, it is nothing more than a cycle of transfer of disease. In this, you will get to know how to the disease is spread from one person to another. The chain of infection, if we think of it as an actual chain, is made up of 6 different links. Pathogen, infectious agent, reservoir, portal of exit, means of transmission, portal of entry, and the new host. Each link has a unique role in the chain, and each can be interrupted or broken through various means. Now we will know about all the link of the chain in brief. So, first, that is infectious agent. An infectious agent is something that enters another living things like you. When an infectious agent enters in your body, you have officially become an infected host. There are 4 main classes of infectious agent: bacteria, virus, fungi, and parasites. For better explanation of the term, we can also summarize it as infectious agents is a term that is generally used to describe any material that can cause an infection that can lead to a disease. These types of materials are largely bacterial but also largely comprised of viral fungal parasites. Hope you understand this. Now we would be moving towards our next link, that is reservoir. A natural reservoir, also known as a disease reservoir or a reservoir of infection, is the population of organism or the specific environment in which an infectious pathogen naturally lives and reproduces, or upon which the pathogen primarily depends for its survival. For a better understanding of the term, we can also understand it as any person, animal, plant, soil. The reservoir typically feeds the infectious agent without injury to itself and serves as a source from which other individuals can be infected. Moving towards the next topic, we will be explaining the term portal of exit. Portal of exit is the path by which a pathogen leaves its host. Examples for portal of exit can be, for example, a microorganism may leave the reservoir through the nose or mouth when someone sneezes or cough or in faces. Now, next topic will be means of transmission. A method of transmission is the movement or the transmission of pathogens from a reservoir to a susceptible host. Once a pathogen exited the reservoir, it needs a mode of transmission to the host through a portal of entry. Transmission can be by direct or indirect contact or through airborne transmission. Examples of transmission are through air, water, direct contact, indirect contact, insects, and many more. I am going to explain some of the examples. Through air. Air is a main source of spread for diseases, as someone sneezing or cough. The water droplets come out when someone inhales. Sometimes she inhales the dust particles with the air that is infected and very harmful for our body. Here I am going to tell you some diseases by which communicable diseases are spread through air, like influenza, tuberculosis, smallpox, and measles, etc. Through direct contact. Direct contact is also a part of transmission of communicable disease. It occurs through skin to skin contact. There are various ways by which it is spread, like kissing, body contact, shaking hands, by dirty hands, touching, beating, direct contact of rivers, to contact with soil of or vegetation harboring infectious organism. Next, through indirect contact. It is also an important part of transmission of communicable diseases. It occurs when an infectious agent is deposited on contaminated object or materials like toys, cloths, bedding, cooking, eating utensils, food, water, books, handkerchiefs, furnitures like chair and table, stationery, vehicles, and vectors, etc. Now I am going to give you one more example. That is, when one person is passing a coin to another person, then also it is indirect contact. Through insects, there are some insects which are the main cause of disease like mosquito, bedbugs, lice. They roam here and there, and the germs stick on their legs and tongues, and when the insects suck the blood of person, their duck get inside the body, and when the dung is come out, then the germs are left inside the body. This way the germs affect the body, and here are some diseases which are caused by small living creatures like yellow fever, enteric fever, cholera, diarrhea, filaria, plague, malaria and typhoid, dengue, etc. Next topic is portal of entry. The site through which an infectious agent enters the host is called the route of entry. The sites from which it can enter is body fluids. A body fluids, for example, blood, urine, pus, saliva, from one person enters the body of another. Next example, through cuts or open wounds through saliva. For example, glandular fever, through contaminated substance entering the bloodstream. For example, tetanus can be contracted through wounds when handling contaminated soil. Through the air, for example, tuberculosis. Droplet infections are carried through the air in our body during inhalation. For example, common cold, respiratory viruses. Through touch, those caught by directly touching the skin to skin contact of someone who has a particular kind of infection such as chickenpox. Touching an infected object which an infected person has touched, for example, door handles, paper and cooking implements. For example, norovirus, winter vomiting infection, can be caught this way. Through ingestion, contaminated food causes food poisoning or water. For example, cholera, typhoid. Through bites from other creatures. For example, infection from dog and cat bites. For example, blood poisoning. Parasites. For example, insect bites. Stings. For example, malaria. Now, it's time for elaborating the term host. In biology, a host is an animal, plant or person that provides a home for another organism like a parasites. This is a living organism in which the infectious agents enter after leaving the previous host. Hope you are clear with the topic, the cycle of infection. Okay, students? Now, let's move towards our next topic, that is prevention and control of communicable disease. This topic has 9 parts. First, information to the health department. Next, isolation of patient. Next, vaccination. Next, personal cleanliness. Next, fumigation. Next, chlorinated drinking water. Next, arrangement of cleanliness in neighborhood. Next, disinfection. Next and last, proper education regarding communicable diseases. So, now I am going to explain the first part, information to the health department. Health information is the data related to a person's medical history, including symptoms, diagnosis, procedures, and outcomes. When anybody in our surroundings or in family gets infected, it is our duty to inform the relative authorities about the health status of the patient. We will not do so, then only us and our family member are going to be in trouble. It should be taken care with all the disease, but a special care should be taken for the diseases which are communicable and spread from humans to humans. Let's us know about the second topic, that is isolation of patient. Isolation represents one of several measures that can be taken to implement infection control, the prevention of contagious diseases from being spread from a patient to another patients. Isolation means to live alone in a well ventilated, clean space until she is cured from the diseases he was suffering from. Only few people should be there to take care of him. Isolation is usually done in hospitals. Home isolation is known as quarantine. Next topic which you are going to study is vaccination. Vaccination refers to the injection of medicines in the body of individual. It should be given in the time so that the disease does not affect us. A vaccination is a treatment which makes the body strong against an infection. Vaccine involves showing the immune system something which looks very similar to a particular virus or bacteria, which helps the immune system be stronger when it is fighting against the real infection. For example, you should take the vaccine of cholera chickenpox, rabies, well in time. Next topic is personal cleanliness. I think that you all know about personal cleanliness well. Personal cleanliness is the act of keeping ourselves neat. It helps to maintain good health and prevent disease and is a continuous exercise. It involves washing hands with soap properly is very essential. Second, nails should be regularly cut. Next, proper bath should be taken to clean our body. Next topic which I am going to explain is fumigation. Fumigation is a method of pest control that completely fills an area with gases, pesticides or fumigants to suffocate or poison the pests. It is very essential and it should be done at intervals throughout the world as it will prevent arising of new diseases. It is usually done to kill the mosquitoes, houseflies, which acts as a good carrier of diseases and also several diseases areas from them only. Fumigation is very important for the area, especially where a lot of people gather. For example, festivals, occasions, fairs, supermarkets, etc. Our next topic is chlorinated drinking water. Chlorination is the process of adding chlorine to drinking water to disinfect it and kill germs. While the chemicals could be harmful in high doses, when they are added to water, they all mix in and spread out, resulting in low levels that kill germs but are still safe to drink. A substitute for chlorinated drinking water can be potassium permanganate. If it is added in water, then it will also kill germs of water in early stage. In this way, we can prevent waterborne diseases like cholera. Our next topic is arrangement of cleanness in our neighborhood. Arrangement of cleanness in neighborhood means to prevent the environment from being dirty. Several steps can be taken to make our environment clean. Avoid littering waste materials on the roadside. Regular cleaning of the society should be done. Next topic is disinfection. The process of cleaning something using chemicals that kill bacteria and other organisms that cause diseases is called disinfection. The materials which are used to disinfect substance are known as disinfectant. For example, you can see a lot of chemicals and pesticides are spread over our surroundings these days. Next topic is proper education for communicable diseases. Proper education should be given for communicable disease through various programs. Like if you are in a school, then teachers should provide you information about communicable disease. If you are an adult, then you should take information from news channels, radio, internet, TV, newspaper, etc. Students, I hope you have understood the communicable and non-communicable diseases, mode by spread of communicable diseases, the cycle of infection, prevention and control of communicable diseases. Then you will study our next topic in your next class, that is various communicable disease. Thank you students. Have a nice day.